can hear the rumble of the Harley in the background here today, along with probably the wind in the air. Oh, he turned it off for us. Thank you, sir. Well, we are getting on the road early today because we wanted to get out of that room as fast as we possibly could. If you're ever in Baxter Springs, Kansas, skip the Baxter Inn. And you guys who go out there and search for these cheap motels and stuff, God bless you. You want to stay in these places, knock yourself out. We only do it if we have to. I just hope that this is the worst place we're going to stay in on this trip.
Otherwise, we'll be doing ground camping.
Yeah, I mean, you can hear my voice right now. That's from being in there with that horrid, moldy air conditioning all night long. So hopefully it clears up.
Our first stop was at the boyhood home of the great Mickey Mantle in Commerce, Oklahoma.
So we are coming through Commerce, Oklahoma. That is the boyhood home of Mickey Mantle. So my brother-in-law, Jim, or Chico, this one's for you because he's a big Mickey Mantle fan.
So after doing a few more miles on Route 66, our next stop was the famous Blue Whale, which, if I was a kid, this would be a really cool place to come swimming on a hot summer day. The day we were traveling happened to be Memorial Day, so there were a lot of flags and flowers out as we traveled through these small towns to honor those who have given it all for our country. And because of this, most of the town centers were pretty deserted with little traffic. There were also a lot of things that were closed, like the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. We got to take a few pictures on the outside. Most of this day was just traveling. Oklahoma allows you to go 65 miles an hour on most of Route 66, so we kept up a pretty good pace.
So we're in Oklahoma still, about 73 miles outside of Oklahoma City, where we're going to stop for the night. We got on the road really early today, just after 7 o'clock, so we're going to be in fairly early. And we're able to set a good pace, even though we had more than 200 miles to travel today. We've only had a couple of little stops along the way. Most of it has just been riding. We had an interesting ride through a section called the Ozark Trail. That was actually pretty neat, but it's a little bit of a bumpy road. But I'll show you that on the video. But anyway, we're having a great time today. Just said cruising along. Met some guys from Switzerland. We'll see if we bump into them again. They rented some Harleys and they're headed out west as well.
Continuing on, we stopped at another roadside attraction, the Rock Cafe in Stroud, Oklahoma.
So we stopped in here at Seba Station Motorcycle Museum. They got a little cool old bikes in there, really done nicely. And of course they sell Route 66 paraphernalia and so forth as well. The museum is free to go to, so make sure if you do drop in and you don't buy something from them, that you leave a donation. Next on the list is the Acadia Round Barn.
The Round Barn was really a cool stop. It was amazing to think about how they actually built this barn, especially back in the 1800s when they didn't have all of the modern tools that we do today.
Okay, we're here. Don't we look excited to be here?
We made it.
No, we're here. We're at the camp. We're at a KOA outside of Oklahoma City. It's a pretty nice place. It's got a pool that we're going to use tomorrow for sure. But camp is set up. I'll give you a tour of the camp and everything later. Right now we're going to go shower and then we're going to make ourselves something to eat.
After setting up camp in the evening, we of course sat around the fire.
So I think we got to change the plans here. We're looking at the weather and we've got some severe thunderstorms possibly coming in this afternoon and then tomorrow. So we're going to break camp a little early. We're going to do some things we need to do around the camp, and then we're going to break it down and get out of here and make as many miles as we can today going towards Amarillo, and then we'll find a hotel or something along the way before the thunderstorms set in. So because we figure it's better to be in a hotel than in a tent during those. So that's the plan. So one of the things I've got to do before we hit the road here is I got to change my oil or check the oil in the BMW here. So I've gone through its warm-up procedure and now we'll check and see what it is. And the oil looks good, so don't have to worry about that. All right, so we're all packed up just before 10 o'clock, so we're gonna hit the road. Said see if we can beat these thunderstorms. Can already see them, feel them building, so it'll be a good idea to get out of here before the severe weather hits. All right, guys, so we stopped for a little brunch, breakfast, about 11:30, and made a decision. We decided we are foregoing the rest of the official Route 66 for the rest of the day. Rather, we just jumped on 40 and we're headed straight to Amarillo. And we did that because we were just getting on and off 40, on and off 40, going through these little towns, and there wasn't really much to see other than some stores and current gas stations and a lot of traffic lights. They went through one section with what Kevin counted 25 traffic lights. So we decided, something, just for today, let's get on the highway, let's make it to Amarillo, and then we can have a good steak at the Big Texan there. And then we'll see how we feel tomorrow, because we're going to transfer our day off to Amarillo. And Palo Duro Canyon is not far outside of Amarillo, and I wanted to go see that, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to make it anyway. So maybe that's what we can do. So we'll see how we feel. But right now, that's the plan. We're going to get something to drink here, some gas. Back on the interstate, another 114 miles, I think, to Amarillo. All right, so on the way to Amarillo, we decided to stop in McLean, Texas, because there's a museum we've heard a lot of good things about, and that is the Devil's Rope Museum, which is a tribute to barbed wire. So this place is really impressive. You could spend hours walking around here and learning about all of the tools and things that they use to put up fencing and create barbed wire, as well as tools to brand cattle and do other necessary things to herd and raise them. It's really quite an impressive place. On the way to Amarillo, we had to stop and see the Leaning Tower of Texas. So we made it to Amarillo very easily. Great day of riding. Actually, we really made the right decision here, because you can look back to the east and you can see those thunder clouds just building back going towards Oklahoma City. And we rode out from under some really dark and menacing skies, and by the time we headed towards Amarillo here, everything is clear and blue. So it was really the right decision. Otherwise, we would have been sleeping in some bad thunderstorms tonight and then getting up and riding in them tomorrow morning. So we think this is definitely the right idea. So what we're going to do is now take a day off here tomorrow and said maybe go to Palo Duro Canyon. We'll see how we feel. But right now we're going to go next door to the Big Texan and have ourselves some great Texas steaks. Well, here we are, Big Texan Steak Ranch. There's Kevin there. Neither one of us are going for the 72 ounce though. We're being pussies. We're going with 16 ounce ribeyes. After eating at the Big Texan Steak Ranch, well, I think we have a new number one in the food ranking so far on Route 66. Taco Truck is still hanging in there at number 2. Missouri Hicks Barbecue at number 3. The Launching Pad, Chicago Dog is at number 4, and then Jubel's Breakfast is at number 5. Okay. It's morning. This is supposed to be out of here by now, but obviously it's not. Looks like the rain is supposed to stop around 8 or 9 o'clock, so we'll probably wait till then to head out. But it's only going to be in the 50s today, so we tried. Rainy, miserable day today. We didn't want to do it, but we're doing it for you. We're stopping at Cadillac Ranch. No spray paint today. Again, all wet, horrible. But we're going out here to take a few pictures. So Cadillac Ranch is cool and all to see all that decades of paint out there, but the thing that struck me most about it is that there's trash cans right there to dump your spray paint in. The people are such pigs. They just throw it on the ground, they throw it out here in the fields. It's like, come on, people. So here we are, we're at the midpoint on Route 66, 1,139 miles to Los Angeles that way, 1,139 miles to Chicago that way. All right, we made it to New Mexico. We're now in the mountain time zone. Rain stopped, but it's still a little overcast. Just grabbed a cup of coffee and a little bit of a snack. And we're gonna hit the road again. I'm not sure how many more stops there's going to be. I think we're pretty much beating feet to Santa Fe. Okay, now we're in Santa Rosa, and we stopped here to check out the Blue Hole, but we pulled over there, and you have to pay for parking and admission to get into the Blue Hole. So if it was hot and we were going to jump in, that would have been one thing, but it's freezing out. We weren't going to get in the water, so not going to pay just to get a picture. So I'll have to snag one off the internet and add it right here. So finally, after 2 days, it's good to see this stuff, huh? See this blue sky.
Yeah, and a little white cloud over there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Since the weather got nice, it's now about 73, 74 degrees. We decided to stop at the Pecos National Historic Park, just on the way to Santa Fe. So reading the brochure about this location, it was in use from about the mid-1300s to the mid-1800s. So for about a 500-year period. So whenever I walk around these places, I always think that here you are, you know, treading where people as much as 700 years ago, you know, lived, worked. It's just, it blows my mind to think about it. All right, so Kevin and I are out. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Beautiful day out. And we're walking down the street about a mile, and we're going to go to see Meow Wolf today, which is this cool, funky art exhibit place. I had a blast there a couple of years ago. I want to go back. So Kevin thought it looked cool, so he's going to join me.